Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Train Simulator. In this episode, we're gonna try UK, United Kingdom signaling, and I'm going to attempt to do a scenario blind here. The scenario is called Faversham to Rochester, and it comes off of the Steam Workshop. So I don't know if it's going to show this or not, but I clicked on Steam Workshop and it gives a description. We're going to drive a class or an 8-car class 375, which is an electrical multiple unit, I believe. And so they're fully electric and they run off of a third rail, and I'll show that when we get into the scenario. So we're going to do a multiple stop service, and there might be some interesting things that happen in this one. It had a good rating. So we will see how it goes. Here we are. Okay, so good morning, driver. Today you'll be driving 0822 service from Faversham. You'll need to join another set that has arrived from Dover and then take control of the service. You'll need to stop before the train and pick up passengers before you couple up to the train in the front. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to turn on our headlights. And when you do that, there we go. Now the headlights are on. Another thing I did is when you're in this mode and you put it forward, you have to reset the driver alert system first when you do that. So to do that, you just press Q. I'm going to turn my windshield wiper since it's raining, and I'm going to turn off this thing here. I just turned it on, called the driver reminder device. Driver's reminders appliance. I'll explain that more about what that means as we get going here. So this train is a combined throttle brake right here, and that means it's all on one lever, and you pull it towards you to go. And another thing you can do is slide this over because we're 8-car. So I slid it over because we're 8-car. We're going to get going just by going ahead and accelerating here. I might have actually started rolling backwards there, strangely enough. So we're going to go ahead and go full speed here. Get going. I'll try to explain signs that I see them. This right here is a speed sign, and we're in the UK, and the UK uses miles per hour, so that's 30 miles per hour. One thing that's going to happen here is we're going to pull into this station, and there's going to be a train in front of us. So we've already been cleared into this station, even though there's a train on our track. And I guess this is a common thing in the UK for services to actually hook up to each other. So what I'm going to do is, as the directions said, I'm going to go ahead and pull in here, and I'm going to start slowing down as soon as I get as close as I can to this signal here. So I'm going to go ahead and slow down and stop now. I might get a little alert. Okay, I didn't get an alert. We're going to go ahead and stop and let the passengers on. I'm going to hit the driver's reminders appliance. The time you're supposed to use the DRA is when you know that you're not clear. You don't have a clear signal in front of you, and it's to remind you that, oh, you got to be ready to stop again. All it does is it disables the train from being able to go. That's all it does. It's this red light that glows, and it disables the train from being able to go. Another thing is that's all it is. Oh, so another thing this train has is cruise control. So I'm going to go ahead and activate cruise control. And how to do that is you mess with this dial here, and then it'll let you set a speed. And you can see up ahead we're going to have a 75 limit. So I'm going to go ahead and put 75 in here. Okay, so now we need to couple up to the car in front of me. Now let me just take a look at this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to become an 8-car service. So I really should have kept that at 4 to begin with, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the DRA and go forward very slowly. As long as we connect at less than 4 miles per hour, we'll be fine. Go 2.5. Kind of just look here. I have track IR, by the way. I mention that in every video, so this is track IR, and we are now connected. So go ahead and bring the brakes on. Okay, so now we're connected, and I don't worry about that. Okay, so now we need to continue forward. So the way to now, what I have to do is I could kind of disable this. Okay, so turn that off. I don't really have to worry about cruise control right now. I should have not worried about that right now. So I set the reverser off, and headlights are off right now. And then I'm going to press Control Plus. Now Control Plus is how you get to the front. So now I'm at the front. I believe that might not be the front. This is the front. Use the left-hand side to show that you were in the station. So now you can confirm that by pressing F1. You see the event is in front of you. Go full, and that's the alert. When you go forward, we turn on headlights, turn on the windshield wipers, and let's get going because we gotta go. So these are the signals in the route here, and right now we're showing green, which is obviously means go. So we'll go ahead and get going. And I'll try to explain more as we come up to it. Go ahead and set that cruise control again to 70 here. And so here right now we have a 60 limit coming out of the station. So I'm going to go ahead and full power here up to 60. And now I can set this to 8 car. That's all this little slider is right here. If I can get it to work, there we go. All it is telling you how long your car is so that you remember, because you don't know just sitting in the train, you won't remember. So now we have a speed limit going up to 75. We shouldn't hit 60 before we get to 75, so we should be able to just kind of sit here, and there we go. And that beep you just heard, how British signaling works is that there's a magnet on the track, kind of like in German signaling. There's a magnet on the track before each signal, and what it does is it tells you like what the signal is so that you're like ready for it. This W here is a whistle board, so you're supposed to like sound your horn and stuff because there's like a crossing or something. So I didn't hear the ding for that signal, but basically what'll happen is if you come across a signal that's not green, it'll sound this really obnoxious loud alarm, and you have to hit the Q key on your keyboard to acknowledge the fact that you're aware that the upcoming signal is not clear. See, the ding just means it's clear. So the upcoming signal means it's not clear if it's a different sound, which hopefully we'll get to see on this route. And basically, if you don't do anything, it'll put the emergency brakes on because it thinks you're not caring. You're not paying attention to driving, so you're going to end up crashing. So a signal can go yellow for more than just there being a train up ahead. A signal will go yellow because you have to slow down for a specific track change, or the end of the track is coming up and you can't proceed any further, or there's some other issue on the track. So now the speed limit is going to go up to 85, so we can go ahead and bring the cruise control up to 85. But again, if I can get it to work. Really annoying. I know that's down, I want to go up. Okay, there we go. I'm tribbles with my mouse or something. So next stop is Sittingbourne in 4 miles. So the different types of signals you can end up seeing in UK routes is probably the simplest signal system there is. But it gives you like the least information about what you're actually supposed to do. So when you see the first thing, next signal you'll see, other than green, is 2 yellows, and that's on a 3-aspect kind of setup. And 2 yellows means that the next signal after that is going to be yellow also, or it's going to just be a single yellow. And single yellow means that the next signal is going to be red, so you have to get ready to stop. And I don't know if it's an official rule, but the suggestion is that you need to be going 40 miles per hour when you see a single yellow. By the time you get to a single yellow, you need to be going 40 miles an hour. If you could also be in 2-aspect mode, where there is no double yellow because they didn't invent it yet on that section of track, and the trains don't go that fast. In fact, I think this section of track might actually be single yellow only, I'm not sure. And basically all that means is that, yeah, you need to slow down to 40, or just keep slowing down, because the next signal you see is going to be red. Now, if the train is moving, obviously, if you get there before the train is, you know, if you get there before the train is not in that section of the track anymore, obviously it won't be red when you get there. And basically that it's for spacing. And so there's actually a fun scenario in one of these called the chasing yellow scenario, and I might try to do that one just to show it off. And the kind of objective is to just, you know, obviously don't have to slow down enough that you end up stopping at a red light even though the train in front of you is still moving. So you keep moving, and that's why they say, you know, slow down to 40 miles per hour, so that you don't just catch up to the red light and end up having to stop or slow down too much. So it kind of keeps you on track. So again, I think this is one of the first times I'm driving this particular model of EMU. It seems like it operates basically like all the other ones. I'm an 8-car though, so that's usually a little more than I'm used to. So I'm not really sure how the brakes are on this. I'm being a little bit careful this time, because the brakes on these are usually really, really good. As you can see, I'm really slowing down quite quickly here. So my objective is, when you come into the station, you're supposed to look out for these signs on the side of the road that correspond to the number of cars in your train. So I'm going to kind of try to look out for those here, pull in slowly. I'm going to end up missing this station. Not missing the station, but I'm going to end up missing the timing on it. So hopefully I don't end up getting penalized for it. So see, we're stopping a little bit too early right now, but I had to do that in order to, because I had to get that in there by 8:29, which I did by 2 seconds, and now the departure will be 8:30 and we'll be okay. So I couldn't quite get up to the sign. If I go into this mode, you can see that there's the sign for, like, if you're a 4-car, you stop there. If you're a 6 or an 8-car, you stop there. And if you're a 10 or a 12-car, which is not even that kind of train, you stop there. And that'll be different like every station. Sometimes it'll just be the letter S, and the letter S just means stop there no matter what size car you are. We're gonna go full speed ahead here because we gotta get going. We can't be behind anymore. I'm gonna see if that actually passed me, and it did, so we're good. We can continue on. Okay, so we have an interesting signal coming out here. Flashing yellow. So listen. So you hear that? You gotta press Q. So a flashing yellow. This is a flashing double yellow. If it's flashing, that means you know that it's not because there's a train. It means that there's gonna be a track change. So the thing with the flashing, and it's a track change, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to slow down to 40. What what you need to do is you basically need to be prepared to slow down. So it's like you continue going up to speed when you see a flashing yellow, but they kind of recommend like 60. 60 is a good speed to be going at. But I see a sign on the track that says 70 right now. I'm going to continue to go faster here. Now, why is this one going off? This one's going off because it's telling you, oh look, you have to slow down to 70. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so now I'm down to 70, and now we're coming up to a single flashing yellow, which means that the next signal is going to tell you how to change, that you're going to change tracks, and then you have to watch out for what the speed limit is for changing tracks. From what I see on here, it doesn't look like it's going to have a speed limit. The speed limit's just going to be 70. I'm going to bring the cruise control down there. This one we have to depart with 835. That's easy enough. Okay, so now we have a single yellow. I'm going to start slowing down now, even though I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. If you saw on that signal, there was a little diagonal white line. Sorry I didn't mention that as we were passing it. That diagonal white line, basically, whatever way it's like angled off, that's the direction that you're going to like go onto a different track from. So you kind of use that information to judge, like, to like look at the signs and say, well, what are my speed limits going to be? And right now, this is really a full speed turnoff. So here it is, full speed turnoff. Going a little fast here. So now we can watch out for those signs. So there's the 4 car. There's the 6 car, and there's the 8 car. I went a little past it, which is okay. Basically, that's exactly where you need to be. And 30 seconds late, which is fine. So I don't need to turn on the DRA because the signal ahead is clear, so we'll continue to go ahead. Keep the brakes on until you hear the 2 beeps. That basically means the brakes are released and we'll command full forward. Gotta be kind of careful sometimes on these routes. You never know if like the track is like really slippery or something. It'll the wheels will spin on you a little bit. But these trains, basically, you go full forward like that, they won't slip. They're supposed to have really good acceleration. It's because the UK actually knows how to build trains. Watch it go by. You know, middle-aged gamer always just like, oh, you gotta do this. It's like mandatory. So you see, oh, it's like there's even 2 different colors of train, which is kind of cool. Here we go. Rainham in about 2 miles here. They have pretty good acceleration, but once you start getting up to the higher speeds, like above 60, it takes a long time for it to accelerate. So I have it set to 70 right now. I should have it set to 75. We're going to slow down to 60 anyway, so it's kind of pointless for me to do that. There should be the alert to slow down to 60. Very good. And just coast along here till we actually see the sign. There it is. These trains are nice. They're almost like subways. I was really low in the display there for some reason, so I had to reset my view. But now that I'm getting a better feel for what the brakes are, I can kind of start adjusting how fast I'm applying them here. There's the 3-4. Ooh, I don't want to go 80. 6. 8. It's right here. That's just about perfect. Good practice to go and set the reverser to neutral when you're stopped. Never a bad idea. So the train ends up at the 8-car spot. I'm a little bit behind it, but you know, it's still good. Still good. I have a good timing of this one too. I got here before 4 times, so this stop's gonna just take a little longer. We got 3 more stops. Stop at Rochester, be done. Go. Push you forward. Full speed. Up to 90, cruise control. Speed warning. Down to 60, so we'll idle the power. Now we'll get those trains that are passing us on the right, we're gonna do those in the next video I do, or I'll teach how to use the TGV system. I wish Train Simulator released more routes that use the TGV system, like the Eurostar would be an awesome route, even though it's like mostly underground in a tunnel. It would still be a really cool route to do. There's the 60 speed limit. Another train passing left. This thing coming up on the left here is a train washer. Those little structures right there. That's how they wash the trains. Looks like we've been making good time at this one too. I don't see the car marker on this one. Yeah, this one's all the way at the end. It's just about perfect. I think that'll... Yeah, it still doesn't open up the front doors, even though we're obviously on the station. It's still weird that it didn't open front doors. Have a neat little small station here. You better look at that. It's kind of under the ground a little bit. Street level entrances. Bad. Alright, two more. Gillingham is where we're at now. Chatham and Rochester. Didn't hear the beeps there, but bring the cruise control down here. Looks like we're going to be going slow for a little while here. 60 and then down to 50. The windshield wiper in the tunnel. Okay, as Chatham and Rochester are like really close together, it's almost pointless for there to be two stations like that. But that's how it is. So, okay, so this one didn't have a speed warning coming up, so we actually have to go slowing down to 50 right now. Further down to 30. So we're going a little bit on a downhill here. There's some speed sign down to 30. 30. Good. Nice sharp corner. Probably why we have to slow down so much. Also a little bit downhill, so I gotta be careful not to let it coast. I can see where this one stops at. Haven't seen a sign yet, so it might be all the way to the end again. Ooh, and we have a yellow light. Let me zoom in. It's just 8. There's the 8. There's the 8. There's the 8. There's the 8. Yeah, I went past it. Not by too far though. There. See any other signs? Yep, just the 8. So we got the front doors to open that time. But wait, you're early. There you go. Okay, so now we have a yellow. These are limited to 40 miles per hour, but the track speed is still only 30. But we'll go at 30. A little bit uphill. Do we have the headlights turned on? Yeah, we do. The headlights off, yeah. Let's see him. Rochester is a little bit of a shorter platform, but I think it'll still have the signs. The 3-4. There's the 6-8. Ah, perfect. Yep. That's right, where it should be. That's the last stop. Gotta wait again. We have a red light ahead. Why don't we have a red light ahead? Doesn't seem to be any traffic up ahead. We have a switch pressed against us, that's why. So maybe an express train coming through or something. Maybe this guy. This guy's got priority on us. Eventually this goes up to Who, Gravesend. Basically, eventually you'll get all the way to London. So when you go all the way to London, that's when you can know how it works. To London Victoria on the next drive. So that is all for this one. So next time, as I said before, we will look at the TGV system and learn how to drive high-speed trains in the UK. So I will see you guys next time.